Stay connected with KFI News on the hour, on the half, and when it breaks. I'm Shannon Farron.
John and Ken Show, John Cobell and Ken Champeau. It is KFI AM 640.
Welcome. All right. Well, of course, a lot of us rejoice because at least somebody got it right in the government. That would be this judge in Texas. His ruling came out pretty late last night, but he's put Obama's latest executive order granting illegal alien amnesties on hold.
This is 5 million amnesties put on hold, and the judge in this case is a U.S. District Judge, Andrew Hannon. Now, this will go to appeal. But for the moment, he's blocked this amnesty program, and he wrote 123 pages on the matter. Very detailed argument.
26 states, as we had told you, sued over Obama's executive action. It started with just a couple, but it's more than half of the states are involved in this lawsuit. And he said the states satisfied the minimum legal requirements to bring their suit. And while this is going to now go through, that's all he basically said. But because of that, and the analogy he used is the states are impacted by this, and you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. So if beginning tomorrow, Obama starts accepting, the Obama administration, applications and puts this executive order into effect, the states will be impacted. And if it's far down the road where something like this gets reversed, the damage will have been done. So he said, let's put it on hold first till we sort this out.
You are going to see a lot of video of people waving their arms in the streets, screaming slogans. You'll see short sound bites of people blathering emotionally. What you're not going to see covered on most media outlets anywhere is whether this judge has a legal point and a strong one. So we're going to be the ones to tell you. Now, this has nothing to do with how we feel or you feel on illegal immigration. Shouldn't have anything to do with it. It's not a matter of where your sympathies lie. It's a matter of whether a president, frustrated by Congress because they won't do what he wants, can just write the law himself and then cover it up with a bunch of legal jargon, which is what he's done. He's trying to see what he can get away with here. And do you think any president should have that power on any issue at any time? Do you think when they get frustrated, can they just write their own law and say F you to the public and to Congress? Now, if you want a country run that way, what you're veering towards is a dictatorship. But if you want representative government where people decide who the representatives will be and then they write and debate and vote, that's what we have now. What Obama is doing is just saying, I don't like the way this is going. Here's my new law. Screw you.
His law was a 3-year deportation deferral with work permits offered for illegal aliens who have not committed serious crimes, have been here at least 5 years, and have children who are American citizens or legal residents. So this was not to give an amnesty to the parents of the dreamers, those who were brought here as children. The two programs are called Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. That's the one he gave out before. And Deferred Action for Parents of Americans and Lawful Permanent Residents.
Now, you may be thinking, well, they're not going to be deported anyway. What's the big deal if he gives them an official waiver? Well, he's not just giving them a waiver. It's almost like a game show. Wait, there's more. They get access to Medicare. They get access to Social Security. They even get, as we found out just yesterday, they can fill out a tax form with the IRS and get up to $6,000 from the rest of us. Basically as a gift.
The theory is that they've paid taxes over the years, and they would be eligible, had they not been here illegally, for the earned income credit. And what they can do under this executive order, they can file amended returns going back to 2011, which is how they could grab up to $24,000.
But understand, while they might have taxes taken out on their weekly paycheck, if they're on a payroll, in the end, every year, they don't pay taxes. Poor people don't pay income taxes. What poor people can get at the end of the year is a check for up to $6,000, but it's like a big welfare check. It's not a refund on taxes they paid because they don't pay income tax. This is just income redistribution. They came up with a fancy term called earned income tax credit as if they're getting some kind of like special refund because they overpaid.
Earned is an overrated word there.
No, it's not earned anything. It's a welfare check. All poor people who work get this. It's for all Americans and legal residents. What they're doing is expanding the program now to illegal aliens, where if the illegal alien can prove or convincingly fake the paperwork that they have gone to work over the year and they haven't earned enough to pay real taxes, they'll get the $6,000 check. That's the maximum check. And under this Obama program, they could make up to $24,000 by saying, hey, I worked for the last 4 years. So how can anybody say that a president can unilaterally give that benefit out to potentially millions of illegal immigrants? 24 grand for every immigrant worker? Seriously?
That's why they call it the Amnesty bonus.
So they get work permits. The states are required to hand out driver's licenses. Work permits, driver's licenses, this IRS amnesty bonus, Medicare, Social Security. A president can't do that.
States would be liable for some of the benefits that John just mentioned at the state level. And that's where the judge said that since these he actually said they'll be armed with Social Security cards and employment authorization statements. They'll seek various government benefits and services. And the states would be impacted by this.
Now, Obama's lawyers have come up with this tortured logic that, well, other presidents have used their discretion to give other amnesties in the past, which is true. But the numbers were much smaller. And if you start talking about discretion, in the real world, what do we all think the definition is? You give a break to a person or a small group based on a specific situation that may not be covered by law. We know a police officer can use their discretion and not give you a speeding ticket because you're in a rush to get to the hospital or you're a celebrity. But they can't use their discretion to not prosecute murder cases, right? What if Charlie Beck said, we're going to use our police discretion and we're not going to prosecute any murder cases in Los Angeles this year? Everybody be screaming, it's like, well, you can't do that. Well, police have discretion. We don't pull everybody over who's speeding. We don't hand out tickets to everyone who's overstayed a meter. Everybody would say, well, that's absurd. Well, that's the situation here. It's not a small number of immigrant refugees in an unusual situation that we're given a break to. This is 5 million people.
So what this means right now is that the states can take their claim to a full trial, which might not take place for months. So the judge put out an injunction blocking the Obama administration from starting the new deferred action programs. What they're going to do is appeal. It'll likely go to the U.S. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. They could take a while to decide on the matter, or they could immediately dissolve the injunction. We don't know.
He has the discretion. I think the limit of his discretion may be that he can promise not to deport them for several years. But even that 5 million number is extreme. But the idea that he could hand out monetary benefits, and by the way, using our money, why is your money being used to give a $6,000 check for an earned income tax credit for somebody who came here illegally and took a job that should have gone to an American? What kind of crazy nonsense is this? And I defy you. If anybody can find me an audio, a video, a quote, anywhere in print where someone makes a legal case as to where a president can invent law and give benefits to foreigners who came here illegally. I'd love to see that. Where is that in the Constitution? Where is that anywhere? It doesn't exist.
If this stands, you could see future presidents doing the same thing for whatever their pet issues are that are gridlocked in Congress. I'll just issue an executive order. Executive orders have been around forever, but as John mentioned, when it comes to the case of illegal immigrants, it's been very limited. It's never affected 5 million at once. And that's over the top.
And not created all these benefits. Taxpayer-paid benefits.
All right, we'll play what Obama had to say about this judge's ruling, give you more on this big decision next.
John and Ken Show on KFI. Shannon has